How to build unshakable confidence no matter what life throws at you. Welcome back to another episode of Rapid Subconscious Reprogramming Community. Here, Tommy Walker, the Mind Engineer. If you're watching live, please share hashtag live. If you're watching replay, hashtag replay. I would love to hear if you're here. If you have any comments, any questions, let us know in the chat. So let's talk about building unshakable confidence no matter what happens. So first of all, we need to understand, how is confidence built, right? Like building a bridge, we need to be able to, or building a house, to be able to set the right, ground for it to grow. This is the same thing. When we were kids, right, the environment we were in was going to be able to dictate a good confidence or a bad confidence. What does that mean? Hey, Romana, thank you for stopping by. Suzanne, thank you for joining. So when we were growing, if our parents were not very loving to us, we're going to start making meaning to that and creating limiting, negative, and false beliefs about ourselves. So what builds or destroys somebody's confidence has to do the way we think. So if I have narratives of I'm not good enough, or I'm not deserving, I'm not lovable because of different things that happened to me during childhood, what's going to happen is that I'm going to have a low self-esteem, low confidence, right? Because again, the confidence is going to be the result of the narratives that we have in our mind. And unfortunately, we live in a society where, getting good grades makes you, in a way, a good person or a good kid, being successful, playing good sports, or whatever. It's in the doing that we're valued. So if it's in the doing how we're valued, unfortunately, we're going to start learning that we need to do and accomplish things to feel good about ourselves. And that is going to destroy our confidence, people. Because if I need to do, imagine this, if I'm going to start playing basketball, right? Do you think that I'm going to be good at basketball if I just start playing basketball? What is the answer? Of course, no. I'm not going to be good at basketball if I'm starting to play for the first time, today. But unfortunately, according to how I have been programmed, that in the doing, I'm valued, what is going to happen, people? As I'm not going to play good basketball, I'm going to draw the conclusion that I'm not good enough. And my confidence is going to be destroyed. Instead, if I would be able to come from a place of, hey, I'm learning how to play basketball, so I'm going to suck at it when I'm starting. Or if I'm doing acting, I might suck at acting at the beginning. Or if I'm doing whatever I'm doing, if I'm able to understand that I'm starting, that I'm learning, that I'm getting better at it, instead of being from a place of my self-value is going to be given by the amount of, scores that I put into, in this sport, in the paid gig that I get as a potential actor, or the amount of clients that I have, or the money that I make. And this is how most people are working on, building their confidence from results based. The problem is we set the wrong expectations, and then what we're doing is setting ourselves up for failure. Because again, first of all, our confidence shouldn't be tied up by our results. And it is, unfortunately, it's from the doing. So if we look in an area that we are confident, we didn't develop that confidence or that, good, performance or, thought process, whatever in an area. Maybe you are good at accounting. Were you good at accounting when you started? I'm pretty sure you weren't. Maybe you went to school, maybe you went to college, to university to help you learn the skills that you learned. But at the beginning, you were not good at it normally. The same thing at sports. You might have a predisposition to be better at sports than others, but that doesn't mean that when you started playing soccer, football, basketball, you were good at it. So again, our confidence is destroyed by the narratives that we have in our head. And as I always say, most people are not even aware of their narratives. I talk to a lot of people that they tell me, oh, Tommy, I believe that I'm good enough. I believe that I can make money. I believe that I can make this relationship work. I believe that I can do this. I believe that I can do that. But they don't realize that deep down, they have other narratives that are running the show. Because remember, it's not what we think consciously what is holding us back, is what we think subconsciously. So I might think consciously that I deserve, that I'm going to make it, that I'm a good actor, I'm a good actress, or whatever it is that I'm trying to convince myself around a specific area of my life. But that doesn't matter what I believe conscious at a conscious level. It's subconsciously. So that means that, first of all, whatever we're telling ourselves, normally it's not the entire truth, because if we're telling ourselves that I deserve money, that I'm a good actor, I'm a good actress, that I'm going to make it, whatever, and my actions are not aligned with what I'm saying, those actions are aligned with your subconscious mind, not with your conscious mind. So first thing to start understanding, right? So if you believe that you deserve to make more money, but you're procrastinating sending the resume out, if you believe that you deserve, something different in any area of your life, and you're not taking actions towards that, and you're procrastinating, you're postponing, what you're telling me, it's not actually what you're thinking. You're telling me what you would like to think, but what you're thinking deep down in the subconscious mind is something totally different. Because if you really believed that you deserve more money in your job, a better paying job, whatever, and you're not, and you're, if you truly believe that subconsciously, you would be taking actions towards that area. If you're not, what you're telling me is that you don't believe that. So again, going back to, confidence. To build that confidence, we need to start exploring the mind to find the narratives that is bringing that confidence down. Because the confidence is within you. It's not something that you need to learn. No, because again, if I look in certain areas of your life, I'm pretty sure that I'm going to find some confidence, whether it is as a parent, whether it is as a partner, whether it is as a, worker, business owner, or, job. In some area of your life, I'm pretty sure that we might be able to find some confidence. Maybe you speak up to a friend of yours when they do something you don't like, you're able to tell them. That requires confidence. So how can we bring that into other areas, right? Because if you have a little bit of that, then we can just, remove, and this is what I believe, remove what is blocking your confidence. So it's not about developing confidence as something I need to go out there and practice, like go running. What I need to do is change the narratives in the subconscious mind that are making me lose my confidence. You see, it's the other way around, like most people are talking. Most people focus on gaining confidence and working on doing exercise to gain confidence. It's not wrong, don't get me wrong, but the most effective thing is to find the narratives that might be bringing your confidence down. I believe we're amazing spiritual beings living a human experience. So if we're amazing spiritual beings, look into Hinduism, into Judaism, Catholicism, into any religion or spirituality, all of them concur, not all of them, maybe there's some out there that know, and some branches of, Christians that believe that we're sinners and we are bad or whatever. Throwing away that, keeping the other schools out there of religion or spirituality, we are meant for greatness. So then it means that the confidence is there because we're meant for that. So what's going on? Again, we have been programmed, conditioned to doubt ourselves, to judge ourselves, to reject ourselves, to bring ourselves down. So unfortunately, when that happens, of course, it makes it difficult to be our true self and be able to manifest that confidence or show that confidence that we are. And unfortunately, we get stuck. We are not able to move forward. We have relationship problems, communication problems, stress, anxiety, different things that different people struggle with, that it's not so connected with confidence. It's connecting with the negative beliefs, the negative narratives, the stories that we're telling ourselves deep down. Why? Because of how we were brought up. And I have heard lately some people telling me, but Tommy, I had a good childhood. Why is it that I'm struggling with relationship? Why is it that I'm struggling at my work? Why is it I'm struggling with my business? Because I had a good childhood. What does a good childhood mean? Oh, my parents didn't divorce. My parents loved me. Okay, were there moments, not every day, not even maybe once a week, but were there moments where maybe you saw your dad lose it, get very angry, get maybe violent. Maybe he spanked you. He wasn't very violent, but he spanked you because you weren't behaving. He hit you with maybe with a belt. Maybe he screamed at you, right? Maybe they were hard workers, and now you're trying to convince yourself that your child was good because your parents gave you what you needed. But were they there whenever you're feeling lonely, whenever you're feeling negative, whenever you're feeling sad? Were they there? So a lot of people that try to convince themselves that they had a good childhood. What I've seen many times is that there were incidents where they didn't feel loved in specific moments growing up. Those moments created negative narratives. Those negative narratives are going to destroy the confidence of that kid and later on that adult, because we are a byproduct of our past. And this is what I teach over and over again. We are the result of the past experiences we went through. And somebody could say, but Tommy, we cannot change the past. Yes, if we think, yes, you're right, that we cannot change the past as people see the past as linear, right? But if you understand that the perceived past in the mind is not the past, is happening here and now. What does that mean? The main work that I do is help people go into their past experiences, like somebody was yelled by their parents, they were spanked, they were abused physically, mentally, emotionally, or sexually. So we go into the past, into a vision and imagination, slash imagination slash, remembering, where we go back into past experiences and we make some tweaks. We do it in a very specific way that I've been learning for many years and practicing over and over again for myself and with the people that I work with, that in a couple of sessions, people can start feeling something different changing inside of them. Why? Because again, in the mind, there is no time. So we can rewrite a little bit the story from our past. Like in my case, my dad was hitting me. So I step in as the adult Tommy, not becoming that little kid. No, I was the adult Tommy walking into that scene as if it were happening right now. And I stopped my dad from continuing the beating on Tommy. I didn't pretend it didn't happen. What I did is I went in as the adult and stopped my dad from continuing that abuse to little Tommy. And then I asked little Tommy, hey, buddy, how are you feeling with what dad is doing to you? I feel not good enough. I feel not recognized. I feel not lovable. I feel, there's something wrong with me. I feel inadequate. And the part of you is going to start telling you how they felt back then. And if you look, and it's amazing, whatever you're feeling today, in many cases, is going to be repeated because it happened when you were a kid. So I work with a lot of people that say, tell me, Tommy, I'm feeling right now because I'm not getting this gig. My boss is not giving me a raise. I'm not getting that, acting role or whatever. People tell me I'm not feeling good enough. I feel inadequate. And then we go back into a past memory that they start reliving as if it were happening now. And they tell me, oh, that little kid felt inadequate. That little kid felt not good enough. That little kid felt that there was something wrong with them. So whatever happened in your childhood, you're going to repeat it again today because you're seeing the world through those lenses. You're seeing the world from that little kid that went through that experience. So I work with couples that many times they tell me, and I've heard this in the past month, I heard this several times in the past month, like one of them telling me, Tommy, I feel the person is not committed to the relationship because blah, 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 blah. According to their own lenses, their partners was not committed to the relationship because they were doing this or were not doing something. And actually, they were telling themselves that story. Because when I talked to their partners and I helped them communicate better, it had nothing to do with a lack of commitment to the relationship. It had to do with that one of the partners struggling with something that was acting, behaving in a specific way that the other person interpreted because of their own inner world as a lack of commitment. Look how weird that sounds. One of the person in the relationship was behaving in a very specific way because of their unresolved issues, and the other person was interpreting this instead of saying, oh, Mike is behaving like this because he has unresolved issues. They were saying, oh, Mike is behaving like this because he doesn't love me. Seriously. So again, the confidence was shook of those people because of their own narratives, not because of the confidence. It had nothing to do with confidence. Confidence is the byproduct. Listen to that again. Confidence is the byproduct of your narratives, and your narratives are the result or the byproduct of the experiences you went through as a kid that created those emotions and created those stories, those narratives. So what is great, people, is that you can go into the past, not actually as in a timeline like in Back to the Future, like Fox going back to the past and changing the past and then living in a different life today, right? Or a different house or a different partner. No, it doesn't work like that. But you can go into your mind, access your subconscious mind, start changing those events from your past and the way your younger version, interpreted and created the stories. So you can change those stories, change the way you see the world, and the way you see the world today starts changing. As you change the world you see today, the world starts changing. So the way the world is the way you see it. You change the world, you see it, and the world changes. I know it sounds so weird, but again, if you're coming from a lens, yes, of I'm not good enough, and your partner does something to you, your boss, your kids or something, you might interpret that as, oh, I'm not good enough. But if you start removing that lens and you start understanding that other people might have their unresolved issues, they might not be able to see maybe your boss, maybe the company that is hiring actors or coaches or whatever, that they're not seeing your value because of their own limitations. Or maybe you're not a good fit for them, but that doesn't mean that you don't have any value, that you're not good enough. That is your lens. So as we start removing those lenses, we start seeing ourselves in a different way, and we can start acting, behaving in a different way. And that's what I'm inviting you to do here, to start seeing the lenses you have, to start changing them. It is possible. So again, the more I focus on building confidence by working on my confidence, it's not going to happen. If I want to run faster, I need to get out there and train. If I just do the logic of running faster, nothing is going to happen. So I need to start really understanding that confidence is something that I need to reconnect, that is already in there. I just need to remove the narratives that are holding me back. I hope that makes sense. Let me know in the chat if you have any questions or comments. I see here somebody wrote something, so I want to check something just in case. I only slept 2 or 3 hours the last 3 weeks. Sorry, Romana, to hear a little exhausted, but I guess it's life way of learning to love myself. Yes, Romana. Every situation we go through is an opportunity to practice loving ourselves and loving others. So you'll see, I love a book that I read, and I read it already, I think like 4 times, that is Alchemy of the Heart from Elizabeth Clare Prophet, that she says that every opportunity is, that every challenge in life is an opportunity to love ourselves and love others. If I see the world that way, it makes it much easier. Not easy, but easier. Yes, we are a byproduct of our past. Exactly. Thank you, Romana. Confidence is a byproduct of our narratives. Yes. So change your narratives and see how your confidence starts showing up more and more. So if you want to build an, unshakable confidence, start digging into the past to find the narratives that are holding you back. Then, yes, of course, and only then start taking small actions also. Don't get me wrong, I work on both things, start taking small actions. But first, we need to work on what's going on in our mind, because if we don't deal with this, no matter what action, even if it's a small thing we are committing or trying to convince ourselves to do, it ain't gonna happen. Okay, so I hope that makes sense. Thank you, Mike, for stopping by. The past in a Delmore, DeLorean. Yeah, thank you very much with the DeLorean. Exactly. We cannot change the past with a DeLorean, as in the movie, yes, but we can sit down in our imagination and go into the past, right, in our mind and rewrite that past. For the mind, there is no past. For the right lobe, and this is science, guys, you can read the book, and it's not me saying this, right, because it's convenient. No, you can go read the book written by Van der Kolk, that he talks about this, that, you know, the body keeps the score. The name of the book is The Body Keeps the Score. He says, proven by science and studies, everything in the book, you can find it. The right lobe many times is running a past memory, and for the right lobe, it's happening now. So what you can do is you can start working with the mind to replay that memory, understand what is happening. Why am I feeling the way I'm feeling? What is the story I'm creating from that past memory? And start helping yourself change a little bit, adapt that story to understand that it wasn't that I was inadequate and that's why my dad was hitting me. It wasn't that I was a bad kid, that's why my dad was hitting me. My dad was hitting me because of his own unresolved issues and limitations. So when I start telling that to my subconscious mind, to the right lobe, to my past memory, little Tommy, starts thinking in a different way. Oh, it's not that I was inadequate. My dad had limitations, so I am still good enough. And I start changing the narratives or programming in the mind that way, in a very loving way. This is not about throwing positivity, NLP just in there, just, hey, learn this. Now this is the truth. No, it doesn't work like that. There's very specific steps we need to take the mind through to be able to open the mind, to be able to be willing to learn, and then maybe change the narratives. The mind doesn't accept a narrative because, oh, I need to tell myself I'm good enough, I'm deserving. It doesn't work like that. That's why a lot of people struggle with affirmations, visualization, things like that, because they're trying to change something by force, by control. And the mind doesn't work like that. So thank you very much. Every challenge in life is an opportunity to love ourselves and others. Yes, Romana. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. See you next time. Have a great rest of the week. Take care. See you guys. Bye.